I think we're live. We are live. Welcome back to episode 3 of the Fore Golf podcast. We are here. As you may notice, there's just two of us this week. Dave's away, swanning away. Is he in Butlins, Craig? I think.
Butlins.
Yeah, celebrating his daughter's second birthday, I think.
He is indeed. I can't say I would be excited by that this week, but good for him. Good for him.
Yeah. I mean, the weather's been okay, apart from today. He's had a nice day.
Load, isn't he? Yeah, he's done all right. He's done all right.
But yeah, as you can see, I'm Ross, that's Craig. I'm on the screen. But yeah, we're here this week. Episode number 3, we're going to talk about poor Shane Lowry and how he threw away a tournament. We're going to pick our winners for the Players' Championship at Sawgrass and also talk a little bit about Luke Donald. He's going to captain Europe in the Ryder Cup for the 3rd successive time. But first, we're going to talk about golf sims. Craig's been in the golf sim this week. I've never actually been in one. How are you a fan, first of all, Craig?
So yeah, I mean, I've done a fair amount this winter because it's been so wet. So I'm mixing it up between golf sims, but also top tracer / trackman type ranges as well. So just with the idea of trying to play competitively. Within myself competitively, and actually rather than just going up to a driving range or just kind of smashing the driver as hard as you can down the middle or right, as the case probably is, it's about just trying to play your way around a golf course. So there's a couple of things for me. I mean, we played, so I've got a bunch of mates that have kind of come along on this journey with me, and we started off with a couple of golf sims, and they were really, really good. We the one specifically we used was Kings 18, which is in East Grinstead. Hopefully they'll provide us some freebies at some point. Anyway.
That'd be nice.
But yeah, they was really, really good, and just gave us an opportunity to play a few golf courses, just championship level golf courses, but not necessarily off of the back tees, and just saw how we got on. So we did that for a while and did pretty well. And then as the weather started to get a little bit warmer, we kind of graduated to going on the Trackman range, just up the road, Trackman range. And the great thing about the Trackman range that I've got is it mapped out the course that I'm a member of. So actually just keeps me fresh in the hunt and thinking, right, when I can actually get out properly, then I can know how to play this. Especially now I've got them. We talked about it last week about my 7-wood. So yeah, it's been really good. But yesterday, I just found myself just leaving the driver in the bag and just trying to smash a 7-wood. Just trying to put it in position and seeing how well that did me instead. So it's just, I really enjoy it. There are parts of it I don't like. So for instance, the Trackman range, because it hasn't got anything behind you from a kind of a GPS perspective, you have to get the ball like 35 yards out into the range for it to pick up.
Right, okay.
So what you're kind of relying on is you're not actually ever going to really test your short game. But what it does do is it kind of gives you a decent shape from kind of 35 yards and outwards. So I love it. I think everyone should have a crack if they can't get on a golf course, for sure.
Okay, I've seen there's one fairly local to me, just over in Portsmouth, which is it's pretty reasonably priced. For 4 people for 2 hours, it's £60. So
brilliant.
You can get a round of 18 in between 4 people on a sim, especially
on a sim. And I would recommend it. I mean, we got a couple of deals. So I think because for some reason this was Kings 18 in East Grinstead, but they were at a bit of a quiet period, I think, just after Christmas, and they were kind of throwing out half price deals, and we ended up getting 4 hours for about the same price. So half price in it. We loved it. Absolutely loved it.
That's great value.
Yeah, absolutely. But whereas obviously when you're at a golf range, it's basically the price of 100 balls.
Yeah.
And it's, I think, very easy to go and stand at the range and just monotonously hit balls down into the range and wonder how far they've gone and things. But I think it mixes it up a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And you had an absolute worldie, didn't you? 131-yard eagle.
A hole out, yeah. So it says on there, and so we were playing Cran-sur-Mer, which I believe is the home of the Evian Championship. Because we were mixing it up. There's kind of a Pebble Beach on there and things, and we thought we'd try this Cran-sur-Mer round, and we were playing a scramble. But I can honestly say that this was just me by myself on this one. I put my my 3-wood out into the distance. Nice run off down the hill.
Yeah.
And I thought, right, I've got a hit. It was kind of in between. So at 131 is probably between pitch and 9. 9's too far, pitching wedge too little. So I thought, well, let's just absolutely try and drill a pitching wedge. And every other one I've done before that, I kept sculling it and sending it right. And this one, it just looked straight down the line.
Yeah.
I just rolled up and it rolled in. And I was told today by a couple of people it doesn't count.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not having that. It was in the hole. It's in the hole. I've got a picture. That's all that matters.
The ball's in the hole. It says it carried 121 and rolled a nice 10 yards.
Rolled in from there. I mean, I think this is the benefit as well with this, is because it sets it up like you're playing in the summer. So it doesn't feel, you're not, kind of just landing the ball 210 and it's stopping and dead in the dive. You're seeing.
It's no fun for anyone, is it?
Yeah, it's no fun. So, yes. So I'll just off the back of that, recommend it to anyone. Absolutely anyone. Get down a GPS range.
Yeah, I'll definitely get a go on that. Because I've been watching a lot of the TGL this week.
Yes,
because it's been sort of the run up to the playoffs, and I saw Tom Kim's hole in one the other night, and it's just really good golf. Like some of the course designs are quite cool, having to hit the low stingers under the overhanging rocks, and like it's just, I think it's really, really fun. And I was watching it with my wife, and she would normally tell me to turn golf off, but it's not. You're not watching blokes just walk around the course. It's something different. So.
No, and my wife quite enjoys watching it as well, and I think they'll continue to get better. I think this year, last year was great, and I really enjoyed it, but this year they've gone a bit funny with the course design, and that actually makes it, because I think last year was very much like, let's try and make it look like a golf course in places.
Yeah,
and no one wants to see it. They can watch that golf on a Thursday.
Exactly. Yeah.
Through to Sunday, so they have actually think with that Stinger one, for instance, that's brilliant. You've got to keep it so low. And the commentators are getting quite clever with it. So I think there's one a couple of weeks ago with who was it? I can't remember who it was, but they were saying, this is the first time we tried it, and I don't think he's really getting the hang of how low he's got to keep his ball. They had Matt Fitzpatrick earlier in that day, and I think they had Tommy Fleetwood, and they were kind of like, it was like 11-yard peak of their shot. And this, I can't remember who it was, but just smashed it straight into the rock, because again, he just wasn't used to it. He just didn't know what to do. He kind of just walked away and went, "Oh well, that's not going to happen, is it?" So,
even Rory messed it up. Rory hit his like low and right and straight into the water, and
that's Rory's out, isn't it? He knows when he's not swinging well, when he's coming across it. So probably that was the case. But it's a great watch. Anyone that hasn't watched TGL, I mean, it's on a lot at the moment. I think it was Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday this week, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was on every. Yeah, I watched it pretty much every day at the start of this week. They're almost in the playoffs now, aren't they?
Well, I think because they're in Florida, aren't they? Basically for next.
Yeah,
it makes sense. They've been very clever how they've pulled it together. I think well worth a watch for anyone that hasn't seen it. Yeah,
and much like Liv, you can back a team. Like your favorite golfer will be on a team somewhere.
Yeah.
It's just nice to have a little association. So that's pretty good fun. Let's move on, shall we? Should we talk about Shane Lowry? Let's get it out of the way, because boy, what it was all going so well for 4 3/4 rounds, and then those 2 holes.
The 2 holes, and it absolutely went backwards. And I mean, I felt for you for one, to be fair. I mean, I did want to. We're competitive in this, and we'll get to that in a minute. But I feel for Shane, because again, Shane's one of those guys that I think you can feel his pain.
Yeah.
Again, the guy that you want to see.
It's on his face, isn't it?
It's just etched, isn't it? I felt nothing but awful for him. So, and I think this is it. Like, it gets in your head. We've seen it happen so many times before in bigger opportunities. You just see. You think Rory at the Masters 2010, obviously not quite a bigger stage, and Jean van der Velde, wasn't it?
Yeah, water. Yeah,
at the Open, and all of those things, they hit the UR. They just kind of get into that. I've got the yips. And I imagine if we probably had 10 minutes to step back and hit a couple of balls on the range, which of course he couldn't do, he'd be straight back into it. But it was just there. It was in his head, and he was gone.
There is a graphic released, I think it's by the PGA Tour Twitter account, that the first hole, the water that you went into, no one had landed in that water the entire day. Everyone had landed safely on the green or just off on the fairway, and he is so far into the water that his little dot where his ball is barely visible in the picture.
Christ,
and from that moment on, he just lost it, didn't he?
It's just a nerves thing. And things with him, you can't exactly say that he's that kind of a player.
No.
Because you think about how he played at the Ryder Cup, and I know he hadn't played with him, but like clutch is exactly the word I put for him as well. If he's out there, I mean, before I only really was bad. I only really caught the last few holes, which it was pretty awful. Like, I kind of stood up and went, "Wow, he can't lose from here, can he?" And then all of a sudden he did. I mean, I felt gutted for him. I was truly gutted, for him and how that must have felt to the hoping that actually he might bounce back this week, but I'm not sure he's getting on this week. But
he's not placing quite high at the minute, so it's
no. Oh yeah, he's right on the edge of the cup. Just checked it. Yeah.
No, fair play to Nico Echeverria. He won the tournament. He had one bad round in the second round, but 63, 66, and 66. That's pretty consistent golf.
Yeah, that's brilliant. So. It's great golf, and I think that's exactly it. But I mean, he's. I think it's one of those tournaments last week, really tough to pick from. Like people aren't necessarily playing that tournament; they're preparing for this swing.
Yeah,
the next few weeks. This is all now lead up to the Masters. So I think. It felt like a one that you were kind of plucking out of thin air of who would be the best player to do, and I would never have picked Echeverria. It wasn't ever in my thought process, and
no,
he did. From what I saw, he stayed the most calm out of anyone on the course, and fair play to him.
Yeah, fair play. We'll move on to. We'll get into our picks for the players in a minute, but let's talk about Ryder Cup 2027. Luke Donald is confirmed as the European captain for the third time in a row, which is the first time since 91 to 95 when it was Bernard Gallagher was back-to-back captain. It's the right pick, isn't it? Like, why would you not?
No, you go with the winning formula.
That team seems to love him.
They do love him. And I think he's doing this the right way around as well. And I can't remember what 91 and 94 looked like, but he's got it the right way around. He's got two European goes at it, and at the moment you look at it and think, I know it's 18 months away, but you'd fully back him to do it again, wouldn't you? I think he's got the formula, he's got the players, and he clearly does something right. I was watching a video today of Kevin Kisner talking about how well prepared that team were.
Yeah,
to the degree when they had the rain that came in on the first day and obviously soaked Bethpage. He basically he just told his players just to drill it into the rough, because he knew that if it was in the fairway, it was going to generate so much spin. I think it was the second where the pin was so much higher, you had to get it right to the back to spin it back. But by putting the ball into the rough, they're like, right, we don't have to generate as much spin here. And I think Kiz was one of the vice captains, he was saying, and he was with that team, and he saw Tommy Fleetwood just drill it into the rough, and he walked down there and got on the mic and basically just said, "We're screwed." From that moment on, they just knew that they were so much more prepared, and I think that comes from the captain. Like
absolutely,
he's that guy that will prepare a team, and he did it so well, so well.
He was one of my favourite players when he was playing, and he's just translated that into being the captain. It's great. America, on the other hand, they've offered it to Tiger, which obviously
he's going to do a home one. I think I've had this chat with Dave before. I think he won't do an away one.
No, why would you? Like, he's not going to win it, are you really?
You want all of the advantage that you could get, especially being the legend that Tiger is, and I don't blame him for turning it down. But
no,
who else would it be? Who else would you go for?
I don't know, because Bradley didn't shower himself in glory, did he?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe from the American side he did, because he was so Team America, like he's fully on board.
He started off so well with his attitude, and he was playing so well. I think the first mistake that he made was not picking himself. Yeah. Because he was the informed player, other than kind of Scheffler and things. But he wasn't the guy after that point. I think he lost it. He lost it when the crowd started. He didn't calm the crowd down. I thought he saw it as an opportunity to get after him, and in the end, it just made him look worse and worse and worse. And then that whole thing with, I think it was Justin Rose, wasn't it? I think at the end of the singles, with some of the decisions they were making about drops and stuff, it's a legacy of a player as a Ryder Cup captain that is. It's not going to go down.
Yeah.
Not going to go down well. He's going to be regarded, unfortunately, as one of the least favourite ones ever, and he certainly, I don't think, get asked back. And considering it's quite a young lad in captaincy terms, probably a bit harsh. But just looking at the odds here, and I see. So obviously Woods is favourite because it's Woods. I think that's more like we're going back to the days of anything that Tiger's involved in. We're going to give him decent odds.
Yes, yeah.
Jim Furyk is the one looking like next best, and yeah, I think that's interesting.
Not a bad shout.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'd like to see that come about. Some of the other names on the list are Gary Woodland, which I think you can get the. That'll be a nice story for him, given all of his health concerns. Davis Love, Zach Johnson, he's done it before. I think these are more outsiders, but I think Jim Furyk might be a good pick.
Yeah, it's almost as if you don't want someone that's going to. You obviously want someone that's going to try and win it for you, but if you've got Tiger in mind for the next one, 2029, then you're thinking it's back in America. Tiger's going to be the captain. Can you really replace a winning captain if they win in Europe? It's a tricky thing to do, really, I think.
I don't think there are anyone else to pick. I'm just looking at the ones that have done before. And I would say Jim Furyk was 2018. Zach Johnson and Keegan Bradley was both so bad. And you think Mickelson's obviously dead to them. That's going to happen, is it? I can't generally think of anyone that's screaming out other than Tiger Woods, but it just won't happen. So it'd be interesting to see what comes about there.
We shall see. We'll keep our eye on that. We should keep our eye on that, definitely. Next up, though, we've got the Players' Championship, TPC Sawgrass, one of the most beautiful courses in the world. It's a next strong weekend, right? Field. Yeah, so it kicks off on the 12th? I think 12th or the 15th.
Yeah. So
we've got a little bit of time. There's obviously a tournament happening right now, which is the Arnold Palmer.
I love Arnie Palmy. Gotta love Arnold Palmer. I love it. The things that reminds me about Arnold Palmer before we move on is it makes me still angry watching it, but it was such a good shot. Was Bryson when he decided to drive 400 odd yards on a par 5, just because he said he would, and that's the kind of stuff that makes me really angry. Just think you copy so and so. But but the Players, one of my favourite courses to watch. It's one of those a bit like, I might have said it last week, but it's a bit like Augusta. You just know the holes. You know what's coming. You know. You could probably walk away around it in your head, kind of right. I remember that hole, and some of the bunkers are very long, but actually feel like you're hitting off fairway. It's beautiful. I've had the opportunity to play it. I've not taken up that opportunity because we had to rearrange what was going to be a nice golf week, which included a round at Sawgrass. But it's something that I want to definitely play in the future.
Is it open to the public?
Yeah. So if you go onto any golf break company, they can offer it up. So this was a few years back now, 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay.
They offered it up. Basically, you stay in Orlando for a few days. You play some of the Orlando courses, and then you go up and stay at Sawgrass, stay at Sawgrass at the hotel there, and play the stadium course as well. But it is very playable. Whether it is the perfect green colour that it is now, because I think at the end of the summer it's scored. So I imagine that it's probably not what you'd expect, but it's still it's nice to play those holes right in 17.
I'm just thinking I'm in Florida in August. Like I could.
Your little trip up to Jacksonville.
I've got 3 or 4 golf days booked in. I don't want to just keep all the Disney ones, so why not? Like I'm definitely going to have a look at that.
I'm going in 3 weeks, and I've got no golf trips booked in, which is gutting, really. I feel like I've missed out both times now. I've gone and just had no one to play with. I don't think I'd just be going around by myself would be a bit weird. So
you kind of want to experience that with someone, don't you, as well?
You do. You need someone that's going to enjoy it with you. So
Okay, let's move on to our picks. So obviously in the last tournament I did pick Shane, so I've come away with $726,400 as my current points total. Both yours and Dave's picks didn't make the cut, so that is unfortunately zero points for you two. So I've got a little bit of a lead here going into the next tournament we're going to pick. Dave is picking Victor Hovland was his choice, I think he said.
Yeah, it was Hovland, yeah.
He's 28-1 currently, but
yeah, where is he at right now? So we should just say for the record, we did make these picks earlier in the week before everything.
Yes.
So before you start saying that's a really stupid pick when we're really 36 holes in. I think Hovland was down I think he was doing really well and then fell off, which is very Victor Hovland.
Right.
He basically finished double bogey. So he's even par at the moment.
Okay.
Who did you pick? Ross?
I've got Matt Fitzpatrick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
It's an outside choice. Obviously, apart from Rory, I don't think the Brits tend to do too well in this sort of tournament. But I just like Matt Fitzpatrick. He's he's sort of a really sort of not underrated, but under the radar guy, especially part of that Ryder Cup team.
Yeah.
Him and Bob McIntyre, I think, just quietly went about their business, and I really hope he wins a tournament this year.
Yeah,
it's not one of the four we picked, but it's really the fifth major, isn't this? So
yeah,
I'm going to go with Matt. He's 28-1 as well. Where have you gone, Greg?
I've gone with Rory. I think what I've got to pick here is the sensible stuff, which is if I'm going to pick Rory at some point, bearing in mind with this we're only at one pick.
Yes, so Rory is now unusable for you for the rest of the year,
and that's fine because I think this is where the money is in this. Stretch here,
this is it.
The money is. I mean, I could pick him for a major, but I can't remember if I did pick him for a major. I need to go back and listen to our first podcast, but I think this is where the money's at. So I'm gonna go down in the list for it this week.
Yeah, it's $25 million purse. So the winner's going to get $4.5 million.
Big money. It's big money. So I'll be interested to see. How he gets on. But we'll have to see how that goes. But we've got some catching up to do. Seriously, I mean, I've got to start picking players that don't miss the cut. I think that's the important thing. Because you get zero if you miss the cut. I think that's why half the players left for Live because they were fed up with not getting some money. That was a big one.
Yeah. Speaking of Live, we've got Live this week. We've got two almost back-to-back tournaments: Hong Kong first, and then Singapore. Hong Kong kicked off yesterday. Picking a winner is probably a little bit harder. I think I don't know as many Live golfers, to be fair, as maybe I should do. But have you got a scorecard up there? You know who's winning?
Yeah, let me have a quick look. To be fair, I did look at this earlier. There are. It feels like we've gone back in time into probably the mid 2010s here, because if I look at, I can read you some of the guys that are at the top at the moment. Maybe if I ignore the top. Well, sorry. Okay, first, so we've got Carlos Ortiz is in first. Dean Burmester is in second. I think he did all right last week. Dean Burmester. I think he was thereabouts. Oh no, he didn't. He fell off at the end, so ignore me on that one. Thomas Dittrey is in third. Who, if I remember rightly, he won the waste management a couple of years ago, and Johnny Rahm is in fourth. But after that, we've got Matthew Wolff,
right,
with the one of the worst swings in golf, but it works for him. That's good.
Yeah, whatever works. Yeah. Richard
Bland, I think it must be about 50 odd now. Graham McDowell.
Oh my god.
Lucas Herbert, Lee Westwood. This is Sergio Garcia. I mean, I think this is probably what we are about Live, but like this is going back to the old school here. So I struggle a little bit with knowing who's a good player at Live. I think it's you know that you've got your top ones. We've had this chat before. You know, you've got Johnny Rahm and you've got
John Rahm, isn't it?
Bryson, and then everything else feels a little bit meh.
Yeah.
So I think you'd like to think in John Rahm in that position, instead of the John Rahm old would have would be powering through after this, but we'll have to see after his miraculous escape from the Middle East this week. And fair play to him for that, but he
what a man, like,
yeah, good lad for doing that. But yeah, he's the John Ryder of old would be winning this tournament, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I was catching up on some of our comments actually. We just as during our chat about the Ryder Cup for America, Jason Puzzle said it won't happen, but Mickelson should be the captain. But yeah, unfortunately,
no, he is. I mean, what I used to love about Philly Mick was he was that guy in the press conferences afterwards. He would just tear apart a captaincy, and I do think he knows what it is to be a captain. But I think he's absolutely. He's got a great golf brain. But also, I think he's burnt too many bridges there. I don't think he's got a chance to ever do it. And I think that was a decision that he made. He made a decision to go, like many of them did. I think all of these guys, maybe they were deep down hoping that they would find a way back onto it. But I mean, you might find that guys like potentially Casey and maybe people that on the periphery like Poulter maybe. But I think because Mickelson's was such a, he was so outspoken about him leaving and the reasons for leaving, and I think that's a path you can't cross again, and he's made his decision.
Yeah, I think his time is unfortunately it's done. What have you got booked in for this week? Any rounds coming up?
Yeah, supposed to have one tomorrow. Got 12:30 tee off tomorrow.
Nice. Just standard 18 or scramble, or what are you playing?
Standard 18. We've been discussing this week. So my friend John, it's his first. I'd say his first round of golf. He's one of those guys he's got a hole in one. He's he got a hole in one. His mate told us that he hit a tree and it went on off the tree and bounced. He's that kind of a guy, But he can also hit a pretty long ball.
Right. Okay.
So this is his first round with us, and we've been trying to talk to him this week. I've said many times, I play at Slimfold. Slimfold is very much dogleg city. You've got to be in play off the tee. I don't think John knows anything other than smashing it 250 yards. That's his game. He just wants to just gun it down there, and we take the mickey and say, if you're stood on the first with a driver in your hand, you're taking the wrong club. If you're on three with a driver in the hand, you're taking the wrong club. And he's like, nah, we'll ignore it. So I know he's nervous about it.
Right.
I'm sure he'll be watching or listening at some point, and maybe we can talk about this retrospectively. But we're just trying to make a thing about just trying to get him onto a golf course, because on this radar, the range and he's been awful at just trying to smash it as hard as he can, and he has smashed it far. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, I want a leveler here, which is a muddy golf course where the ball isn't perfectly flat, and then let's see what happens.
Yeah, we've all done it. We all stand on that first tee, or at some point during the course, and you think, right, let's just take the driver out and just see how far we can hit this, and then we'll deal with the consequences when we get to them.
That's it, and this isn't a course for that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, I mean, it would have been nice if the weather had held off. For anyone that's watching, it's been a bit wet here today. This week's been beautiful weather, but unfortunately, it's just the day before. So unfortunately, it's a carry day tomorrow. So I've got the carry bag out, but looking forward to it. Have you got any golf plan, mate?
Well, I want to try and I've looked at my tee times on my local course, which I can literally walk to, and it's 6:30, 6:45, 7 a.m, or then nothing until the afternoon. It's, oh God, it's my first day off this week. Can I get out at 6:30?
Yeah, but look, let's put it in positive terms. I know it might be tricky this weekend, but we are 4 weeks away from an extra hour, and that makes all the difference. I
was thinking that riding from work the other day. It's like, it was 4:30 and it was still light and it was lovely and sunny. I thought, oh God, I just need an extra hour, and I can go and get at least 9 holes in. And
that's it, get 9 holes in. I mean, the big thing as well, we've had months now where you barely got 20 tee times available, and those just taken up by competitions or people that have members that have booked 3 weeks out, and you just not going to get the opportunity to do. Whereas now, you're into when the clocks obviously go forward, you can start teeing off at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and getting a full round in, and that's where it's at for me. That's when it feels like we're in play. Unfortunately, that time is when I'm going on holiday. I'm going to miss a little bit of spring golf, but We'll hopefully get something in though, because that's the whole point. This is what we do this for. That's why we talk about this, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, those after work rounds are special. I feel they just hit differently, don't they? Like you've had a long day at work, but all that suddenly just eases away when you stood in that first tee. You think, right, yeah, this is good. This is what I work for.
Some of the best rounds I had last year were teeing up at 5:30 with just having a buggy, jumping around in 3.5 hours with the lads, and then going and have a beer on the terrace, and that's where exactly where it's at, and that begins in April, May time. So we're nearly there.
We're so close. Yeah, we're so close. Just get through Easter and we're there. There we go. Pretty much that's it, really. A little short one this week. Dave is watching. He's in the chat. There he is. He says hi.
Right.
But yeah, Dave will be back next week. We'll be back as well next week. But you can find us on our social media pages, which, let me put the banner up. Anyone who hasn't seen it, there it is. We're Forecast Golf Pod on pretty much everything. Find us there. You can find us on our private ones, which is there on screen as well. Getting slick at this now. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Leave us comments. We love hearing your comments. We put them on screen, as you've seen, and we'll respond to them. And if you have any sort of topics you want us to bring up, let us know. You can get us in contact on social media. We'll talk about anything, really. We're a very open book when it comes to golf. We want to talk about anything and everything we can do. But yeah, we'll be back next week. Enjoy your rounds, and we'll see you then. Bye.
See ya. Bye.
Done?